Today is going to be a self-published book unboxing and a children's book review based on the books that I uploaded to Lulu last week. Now last week I did a video on how to publish a landscape picture book. So if you missed that, I'll throw a card up above and you can check that out later. Because I wanted to give the best insights I can so you can make the most informed decision possible, I've gone in and I've created two different versions of the same picture book. The first version is going to be glossy cover, standard color on 60-pound paper. The second is a matte finish with premium color on 80-pound coated paper. I've ordered the books and they've just come in, so let's check them out. But first, full disclosure, this video is sponsored exclusively by the folks over at Lulu. Whether you're looking to publish a hardcover, spiral bound, or paperback book, Lulu.com can provide you with amazing options that the other platforms simply don't offer, like calendars. That's right, you can actually create your own calendars using Lulu.com. Now, if you'd like me to do a video on how to create a calendar using Lulu, let me know down in the comments. But for now, let's get to the unboxing. Okay, so I just got in, well, a couple hours ago, just got in this box from Lulu.com. It's the landscape book. Somebody in the family got a little carried away and decided to start opening it for me, so thanks for all the help. So that's why it looks like it's already been opened. Let's open it up and see exactly what we think. Wow, that came out really nice. Let's see. Okay, so we've got the two books. Nice hardcover. Looks good. I love how it comes in a corrugated box, so I don't have to worry about the fact that it got, kicked and thrown around or anything like that while in transit. Yep. Look at that. Glossy. And this one is the matte finish one. All right. Let's go back up on top and I'll tell you what I think. All right. Well, let's start off with the cover. So here is the glossy cover. As you can see, very shiny, very shiny. A lot of children's books come with this glossy finish. And then we've got the matte finish. So the matte finish versus the glossy finish. It's really just a personal preference as to which one you like better. They both look really nice. One thing I wanted to point out is there was a little bit of confusion in the previous video when I talked about the wrap around the actual cover. Some people thought I was talking about the dust jacket. This does not have a dust jacket. This is that would be called the linen wrap when you're doing it on Lulu, as opposed to the hardcover. So they're two different types of books. The wrap, let me just show you right here, is what goes around here. So it's just a little bit that wraps around the hardcover. So that's what the wrap is. Hopefully that will answer some questions that we've gotten in the last video. So again, the two covers, most people are familiar with the difference between a matte and a glossy finish. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that. The next we're going to talk about is the paper. So as we talked about earlier, I actually did do different types of paper because I wanted to give you as much context as I could. So on this glossy one is the one we did with the 60-pound paper. And the 60-pound paper, this is what the images would look like. Okay. It's kind of it's more of a matte finish as well. Paper, honestly, it feels like normal paper. Paper you would get from KDP or any other type of book that you would order from any other print on demand. It's 60-pound paper. It feels like the paper of a book, but it feels like the paper in a novel and that type of book. So a little bit thinner than what you normally would get in a picture book. But again, still comes out really nice. We'll talk about the color in a second. So now we're going over to the 80-pound coated. And one thing that you're going to notice very quickly is because it's coated, there's a little bit of that sheen to it. So it's almost like it's glossy. But again, it's obviously the colors come out nice, and we'll talk about that in a second. But it's thicker, slightly thicker. The biggest difference is you can feel that coating. You can feel it just feels a little bit more durable. So that's a really big deal when you're talking about picture books. You want it to be more durable. Obviously not as durable as a board book, but still it definitely feels thicker and more durable than the 60-pound. So that didn't come as big of a shock to me. I'm sure it doesn't come as a shock to you, but it does feel more like what you would expect in a picture book, like a picture book you would buy off the shelf, you know, traditionally published, that kind of thing. So 80 pound feels definitely, when you're comparing the two, you definitely can tell the difference. And again, you can see that sheen because it is coated paper. Now to the color. The color is one of the biggest differences that I found. And let's go to the standard. And we're just gonna I wanna make sure I compare the same pages. So we're just gonna go to the first page of the book. Okay, so right here, that's the first page. This is standard color. As you can see, I mean, it looks great. Absolutely, the color is there. It doesn't look like it's inferior in any way, shape, or form. But when you compare it to the same page on premium, obviously you got the sheen difference. The premium color just seems to pop more. It really does. I'm not really that surprised. I mean, it's got the different coating, so that does make a difference as far as like the sheen. But as far as the actual color itself, it's, like I said, it definitely is more vibrant, and hopefully that will give you a good feel as to the difference between the standard and the premium. Obviously, really the only way to tell is if you do it yourself, but I definitely saw a difference in the saturation of the colors and how vibrant they looked in the premium versus in the standard. So what's the difference in cost? That's another big thing that a lot of people want to talk about when it comes to publishing a book. And that's completely fair. So again, keeping in mind that I went both extremes. So I did one on the 60 pound paper with standard color, and then one with the 80 pound coated paper with premium color. And the difference in price was the one with 60 pound paper and standard color was $9.83. And the one with 80 pound coated paper and premium color was $12.83. So, I mean, you're talking a good $3 difference. You're gonna have to decide which is the most important to you. Obviously, that's gonna change your bottom line a little bit, how much your profit's gonna be, how much your royalties are gonna be, or how much you're gonna have to charge to get that same profit margin. So what are my overall thoughts? Well, when it comes to the glossy versus matte, that's really gonna be a personal preference. I personally prefer glossy for my picture books because it makes it easier to wipe off fingerprints and other kid-prone issues. Also, it's just shinier and more attractive to little tots. But the finish doesn't affect the price one way or the other, so again, go with whichever fits best for your book. Now, in regards to the paper type, if your book is gonna be color heavy, like a children's picture book or a photo book, I really suggest going with a thicker paper. Also, if you're planning on doing a coloring book for kids, the thicker 80 pound coated paper will help give a bit more durability for crayons, coloring pencils, and even some markers. If your book is going to be less picture heavy, like a chapter book, a novel, then you can save the extra money and go with the standard 60 pound paper. It's completely thick enough. Last but certainly not least is the color selection. I know it's a bit more expensive, but if you're doing a children's picture book or a photo book, getting the premium color is absolutely worth the investment. Standard color is fine if your book is going to have graphs, tables, black and white images, or basic illustrations like you'll find in an early reader or a chapter book. But again, if your book is going to be mostly illustrations, go with the higher quality premium color. It'll help your book really stand out in the marketplace. Now, if you're ready to start working on your own hardcover picture book or any other book with Lulu, you may still have time to take advantage of the promo code Keith15 that Lulu was gracious enough to provide us with that will save you 15% off your print book orders. But act fast because that offer expires on December 31st, 2021. Just head on over to kwheelerbooks.com/LuluBooks. And again, that promo code is Keith15. Now, if you missed the first video in this series, then check it out right here. And if you've already seen that one, then don't forget to check out this video right here that the fine folks over at YouTube says you're absolutely love. I'll catch you in one of these videos, and remember to write right.